Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're from the 2025 or 2026 engineering batch, listen up, because this explainer is basically your ultimate cheat sheet. Today, we're completely cracking the code on the Infosys Specialist Programmer and Digital Specialist Engineer hiring drives. We've dug deep into the source material to show you exactly what it takes to land that dream offer right out of college.
And why are we putting in all this intense effort? Well, it's because of this number right here, 21, as in 21 lakhs per annum. That's the top-end salary package for the Specialist Programmer L3 role. We aren't just talking about your standard entry-level gig here. This is literally a gateway to working on AI, large-scale enterprise systems, and getting massive technical ownership from day one. It's a huge brand, incredible growth, and serious money. But here's the thing. The urgency is so real right now. Infosys has announced an absolutely massive target. They want to hire 20,000 freshers. 20,000! Now, the competition is going to be fierce, for sure, but the opportunity is wide open if you've got the right strategy. You simply cannot afford to miss this off-campus wave.
So here's our game plan for today's explainer. We'll cover the Infosys mega opportunity, eligibility and assessment rules, cracking the coding round, your 25-day prep roadmap, some insider tips to stand out, and finally, your next steps. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the Infosys mega opportunity. Let's clear up the difference between the two main pathways here. The Digital Specialist Engineer, or DSE role, is a fantastic entry-level tech role. It has broader eligibility and starts at around 6.25 LPA, plus bonuses. But if you've got stellar coding skills, you really want to be gunning for the Specialist Programmer, or SP role. This one scales from an L1 tier at 11 LPA all the way up to an L3 tier at a whopping 21 LPA. The difference? Well, SP is a whole different beast. It demands deep technical ownership, advanced problem solving, and a much harder selection process. Moving right along to Section 2, eligibility and assessment rules. Okay, let's talk logistics. The hiring is highly targeted at the 2026 graduating batch across engineering, MCA, and MSc programs. The eligible branches are fairly broad. We're talking computer science, IT, AI/ML, cybersecurity, ECE, EE, and even mathematics. Keep an eye on those strict percentage cutoffs. And honestly, having an InfyTQ certification is a massive advantage here. Also, listen carefully to this. You absolutely cannot have any active backlogs at the time of joining. 0. It's a hard rule, so don't let that trip you up. So, what does the actual gauntlet look like? It's a structured 4-stage process. Stage 1 kicks off with an online aptitude test covering quantitative, logical, verbal, and some tricky pseudocode questions. Clearing that unlocks Stage 2, which is the heavy lifting coding round. Pass that, and you're into Stage 3, a technical interview hitting you hard on DSA, projects, and core concepts. Finally, Stage 4 is the HR interview to check your overall fit, communication skills, and talk salary. Let's dive into Section 3, cracking the coding round. This is the main event. Here are the rules of the arena. You get 4 questions and 3 hours to solve any 3 of them. You can code in whatever you're most comfortable with: C, C++, Java, Python, or JavaScript. But hey, don't let that solve any 3 requirement fool you. Time management here is absolutely crucial because the difficulty ramps up so fast it'll make your head spin. First up are the easy questions. Now, in Infosys terms, easy definitely doesn't mean trivial. These are usually string manipulation problems, basic 2-pointer techniques, or simple greedy logic. They are strictly testing your coding hygiene. The goal isn't just to hack together an output, it's to write super clean, linear, or O of n log n, bug-free code quickly so you don't burn through your time. Then we bump up to the medium questions. This is brilliantly where Infosys filters people out. They want to see if you can combine concepts. You're often going to see a greedy algorithm or a dynamic programming twist layered right on top of a basic foundation, like arrays. It tests their ability to take a big, messy problem and break it down into clean, reusable subproblems. And finally, the hard questions. Honestly, these are absolute beasts. They combine dynamic programming with really advanced stuff like bit masking, segment trees, or binary search on an answer. You need laser-like precision in defining your state here. Look, nobody expects the majority of participants to fully solve these. But if you can cleanly solve just one of these hard problems, you're basically golden. You will stand out immensely. Which brings us to Section 4, the 25-day prep roadmap.
Okay, whether you're spreading this over a 3-month macro plan or crunching it into a 25-day final sprint, month 1 or your first 5 days is all about foundational data structures. You need to be rock solid on arrays, strings, prefix sums, and two-pointers. You've got to know sliding window techniques and hashing inside and out. Hashing is literally everywhere, and sliding windows are a lifesaver for string problems. If you skip these basics, the harder problems will crush you.
Moving into the intermediate phase, days 6 to 15 or month 2 of your broader prep. This is where you get on Hacker Earth and Leak Code and just start grinding. Tackle greedy algorithms, figure out exactly when to use binary search for optimization, and really master strings, linked lists, stacks, and queues. Actually, the most critical part here is mastering recursion and backtracking. You have to visualize recursion trees because they are the foundation for the final boss of this whole process. And here's the final stretch, month 3, or days 16 to 25. This is where you focus on Infosys's absolute favorite advanced topics. We're talking trees, heaps, and graphs, especially BFS, DFS, and topological sort. But the crown jewel? Dynamic programming. DP is basically the VIP pass to that SP role. Master memoization, tabulation, and state transition optimization. And you're set. Oh, and use this final week to do mock interviews and revise your aptitude and pseudocode.
Section 5, Insider Tips to Stand Out. Let's get into the real secrets here.
Listen, I cannot stress this enough. One placement expert in the sources hit the nail on the head. Your resume will only get selected if it is ATS-based. AI will filter out the rest. Think about that. All your intense late-night coding prep means absolutely nothing if a bot trashes your resume before a human even sees it. Optimize your resume format specifically for software engineering applicant tracking systems. It's a game changer.
So let's say you've passed the test and you're in the hot seat for the technical interview. What is that hiring manager actually looking for? They want proof that you've put in the sweat equity. Have you completed the InfyTQ Power Programmer certification? Have you knocked out at least 150 plus leak code problems? That's what shows your competitive edge. It's time to stop thinking like a student taking a test and start thinking like a professional engineer. They want to see how you think. A structured, logical approach beats memorizing perfect syntax every single time. They want genuine passion. And here is a fantastic pro tip straight from a former interviewer. Do not chase the most perfectly optimized code on your very first try. Instead, write a working, basic version in the first 10 to 15 minutes. Then, show off your fast debugging skills by tweaking it for edge cases on the fly. Wrapping up with Section 6, your next steps. Here's your exact to-do list right now. First, start mastering those arrays and strings today. Second, fix your resume, make it ATS-friendly, no excuses. Third, build strong, visible technical projects and push them to your GitHub so you actually have something real to talk about in your interview. Practice those pseudocode questions. And finally, subscribe here and connect with your peers on LinkedIn to build your network. The path is incredibly clear, guys, but the execution is going to take real discipline. The blueprint is literally right here in your hands. Whether you are kicking off your 3-month preparation or jumping straight into a final 25-day sprint to that 21 LPA, the time to take action is right now. Get out there, code hard, and I'll see you in the next explainer.